Yetta, I discovered I love difficulties.
What?
Yeah, because they provide opportunities.
Moving forward with the Dekker Team. Moving forward together with the Dekker Team.
We are honored, actually, that we've been able to create for you free access to over 603 Life's Inside Track episodes where we get to share insider tips, making house home, how to get the most out of your money.
Yeah.
And the great news is you can get access to them from home, from the office, or on the go. If you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, you know what I'm going to tell you to do. Dekker Team YouTube channel, not just any YouTube channel, right?
Yeah, right.
We're going to explore that we've learned that you can use the difficulty for your good, just not let it get you down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's no point. Because trying to change what you have no control over is a waste of time, a frustration. It gets you nowhere.
Well, it gets you somewhere, down in the doldrums.
Yeah. It's
Down
like a
in the
rocking
dumps.
chair.
It's like a rocking chair. Okay,
Yeah.
let's go.
A lot of movement, but you're not going anywhere.
That's true. And it might even be sad when you sit there for too long.
No. Rocking chairs are comforting. Don't give me that.
Okay, don't get you started.
No.
All right. We're thinking about real estate specifically here,
Yes.
right? In this particular segment. And we've been exploring, what have we been learning over this last season, this last year?
Yes.
And the difficulty in our current market could be depressing, could be discouraging, could be daunting.
Yeah.
There's three great D words.
Yeah.
Discouraging, depressing, and daunting.
Mm-hmm.
And instead we're saying, let's not use that difficulty. Let's use the difficulty to get something good out of it rather than letting it suck us down.
Right.
And we've learned that the hard way. Because I think for part of the year, we started to get a little exasperated because it's hard to shift the way you do business and what and even if we didn't need to shift the way we did business because we were pretty able to get back to it, it took a long time for people to catch up to it because we were trying to get people to lead the market rather than follow the market.
Yeah.
And when you lead the market, unfortunately, in a market that's going down, which we've really experienced for about 2 years now, just coming up to 2 years, you have to price lower than the last sale to lead the market. And so that was just a arduous opportunity where...
Well, because the seller needs to adapt to where the market is. They need to adapt to the marketing process for this season, this market. It's a longer process. It's better prepared homes. It's better priced homes. And I mean, recently we had a client who was selling a home and they needed to adapt because we got them a premium price and then the buyer couldn't close on time because they had an issue with financing and one of their houses hadn't sold yet. And so we could have, in that case, said, okay, we're blowing it up. The buyer needs to, maybe forfeit their deposit or we're going to put it back on the market. And what we realized was the market had shifted even in that month or two so that we would never be able to duplicate. Well, I shouldn't say never because maybe we could in 5 years or something, but never
not
the
at
moment,
this time,
duplicate what we got for them. And so then it was a time to adapt and adjust expectations and look at, okay, how can we delay the sale by 30 days, give them time to make sure their place is sold. And now that property has closed correctly?
Yes, it has.
Okay.
Yeah, it has.
Just wanted to verify because I don't get all the details every time. And they're delighted.
And it required to function through the difficulty rather than getting ticked off and realizing that we weren't going to get their money on time and like all that story and saga that could be wrapped up inside of it. We kept reframing, going, how do we use this frustration, and it was a frustration, to actually help us propel forward. And we, in this season, we wouldn't have gotten that amount of money again.
Right.
I mean, I felt it was a miracle even when we did it the first time.
Mhm.
So didn't really think the miracle was going to, and it was perfect opportunity to negotiate just right. There were more than one person that wanted it. It went way above anything I had imagined. And so
Right.
using even the upset to help propel them forward to get more money in their bank account was just a smart move.
Yeah. And the other thing we did was we made sure that every cost that they had to hold that house for another month was covered by the buyer. So they got extra money so that they weren't out of pocket. They were inconvenienced,
Yes.
but weren't out of pocket.
Yeah, which is really
Money-wise.
cool. So if you're thinking, hey, I want to get in on this dialogue, I want to be part of the community more than just the Life's Inside Track episodes, I got some questions to ask you based on what you just said. You know what to do. Just send us an email, together@dekkerteam.com, and we will give you consistent updates, invite you into great things we're doing inside the community, like where we're actually learning and growing together, like through book clubs and answering your questions.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes on the air, because some of these things that we share came from you, the listener, so that we can share it with everybody, not just the one person that asks us the question.
Right, right. Now, another place that, no, this isn't really specific. This isn't an investment show, but it's important to know that as interest rates have climbed, the market's tighter. What happens with investment properties that have 2, 3, 4 rental properties in them or more, their cap rate actually goes up, which means the value of the property goes down. It's kind of weird, but it means that because interest rates are higher, they don't cash flow without either more income or a lower price. So we're finding value for our investor clients right now through this tougher market. So, and the other thing we talked about was, hey, you know what? Interest rates are temporary. Property values and the demand for property is not temporary. So we'll see prices gain as interest rates come down. We'll see prices gain again. And it's a double win for somebody who's bought a property at a little bit what we might think is a lower price, but a higher interest rate. When the rates go down and the property goes up, it's a double win. They're paying less and they got a more expensive property.
Well, they have more equity too.
Yeah.
So I think it's a triple win.
Oh, it's a triple?
I wrote down win, win, win.
Oh, okay.
When we were doing the show, because that's, if we can reframe, we can use the difficulty. I keep thinking frustration, difficulty, they're so partnery. Use the difficulty to get ahead rather than set us up for disappointment.
Yeah. And we're even seeing long-term rates right now. I don't know if you're aware of that. Even though the Bank of Canada rate has not changed, we're seeing long-term rates have taken a slight decrease in December. And so that's making it easier. People who have locked in at the lower rate, and then if it goes even lower, you get the even lower rate. So one of the steps, and we talked about fundamentals in the first show, one of the steps is get pre-approved. If you're going to go buy a property or you need to sell and buy, get pre-approved. That's a fundamental.
Done. And another is just, maybe it means starting smaller just to get started.
Get into the market by starting smaller. Buy a smaller property. Yeah. Albert Einstein, we believe he said this, you cannot solve our problems with the same level of thinking that created the problem. And what I love is that together we're clarifying your options, because when you get clarity, your wisdom will flow.
Moving forward with the Dekker Team. Moving forward.